Oh man, we're back here. Volkswagen CC project is coming to an end. Well, I'll tell you what. Something's missing. License plates. Well, we've got a couple of more stops to make because guess what, folks? The things I was worried about. We just passed our SMOG inspection. We've got an overall test result is passed. Everything else passed. Anything that says not applicable is because we don't have a turbocharger. Well, I'll tell you, all we got to do now is take all our paperwork, brake light and brake and light inspection and our SMOG certificate, go over to the DMV, have them do the VIN inspection, and then go in and get our plates and our title, and we're done. As far as the items still left to do on the car, well, we've got to do an oil change, get the break-in oil out. We've got to purge the coolant because we use this cheap Purple Peak stuff, but we'll probably go ahead and use the Volkswagen version. And we got to double check and make sure all of the software updates have been uploaded into the car, and that's going to have to take a trip to the dealer. And I don't see any recalls on the car, but guess what? We've got a fully functional, about to be licensed, ready to be on the road, 10-year-old car, the car that we picked up for $2,600 from our good friends over at AutoGator. No affiliation, but I can't plug them enough. $2,600 we picked this car up, and a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, a couple of months. Yes, I am slow. Yes, I take a little bit longer than an average bear, but you know what? Only one thing kind of gave us a hiccup, and that was we had to buy the special VR6 slanted piston installer for the VR6 engine in this particular Volkswagen. And so if anybody out there is in the local area near Sacramento, California, needs to borrow one of those for the 3.6 VR6, let me know. I'll be more than happy to loan you that tool, or if you want to pick one up, they're about $50 off of, you can probably find one on eBay. But you're going to use it one time for putting pistons in, and then there you go. You got an extra tool. Well, I'll tell you what, I can't talk enough about how much that ceramic coat by Auto came out. You know, that Amazon purchased one little 50 milliliter bottle really took this car's paint to the next level. I can't talk about it enough. I know you're probably sick of hearing about it, but yeah. You know, we still got the little rubs and blemishes we weren't able to get out. Real deep scratches almost to the metal, and you know, really deep couple of scratches on the top and on the hood and fenders, you know, we're not able to get out. And we still got to do our paintless dent correction project over here. A couple of more places to get out over here on the passenger side, which actually turned out worse than the driver's side, and we thought it wasn't. But anyway, I think over the course of the next days, weeks, months ahead, I might come out here and tap a little bit more and see if we can't get that golf ball ripple out of that sheet metal a little bit better, and maybe that dent a little bit more. So as far as the driver's side, though, it came out pretty good. So we just got a couple of little dents to get out there. You can see just a little bit, and then a paint rub right there. Right there is a scratch you can see. Other than that, this car is ready to go. I'll tell you, we fixed the wiring for the trunk emblem. So on this particular model, the Volkswagen handle, or the trunk handle, is a Volkswagen emblem, a trunk handle, and it flips up for your rear view backup camera when you put it into reverse. So we fixed the wiring for that, and then we had to fix we had to resolder actually some wires that were broken for the reverse lights on the LED taillights here. That was down in here. I think they were damaged from the collision that happened on this side. But we were able to fix those. I'll probably go ahead and replace that wiring harness. It's just, you know, a couple of plugs and it goes down through the trunk tube, if you will. And it's always frayed there, but it was broken over here. And this, you know, it's like a $70 harness, a couple of plugs for the light and right down into the connector here, and then on and back up to the brake pedal or whatever. And we probably, yeah, we'll think about it. The sun screen visor thing in there, you know, that slides back and forth underneath the very darkly tinted pop-up sunroof there. May replace that, but I was looking and it looks like you have to remove some glue as well as screws to get the glass out in order to get the retract mechanism for that sunshade slider right there. So I think we're gonna hold off on that. I mean, really, is that bad? I mean, you can't see in the car very well. It is very darkly tinted, almost as much as the rear passenger compartment doors, so, or windows. But other than that, yeah, the interior cleaned up very, very nicely. Got all the LED lighting, convenience lighting and everything. One thing I will share on this particular car is kind of funny. I was driving it over there to get the SMOG, and it has what's called driver convenience or assistance. And so when you you turn the key off, you stop, you get out, the actual seat on the driver's side unreclines to help you exit the vehicle. So that's a nice little feature to have, especially someone in my position. And also, we were coming back in dusk and it was kind of a little dark, so the headlights were on, and I turned on the turn signal, and the side assist light came and shone over here on the street. So that was kind of neat, seeing this kind of triangle on this side of the car light up the turn as you made it on the left-hand turn there. And so this car is ready to go. Basically, we just got to go get that final little stop at the DMV, get our plates. We got good brakes, we got good tires, we've got good lighting, got awesome paint now. We got a good fresh engine. We've got a good fresh transmission, inclusive of the fluid. We just got to do the transmission relearn procedure and basically just drive the car, because as you know, Volkswagen, once you reset those shift adaptations, they learn as you drive and adjust based on your driving habits. Whether you're a very hard and fast driver, it's going to shift a little bit differently than somebody who's nice and smooth and methodical, you know, highway type driving. So I don't know if that takes 10, I don't know if it takes 50, I don't know if it takes 500 miles, but over the course of several miles, it is going to relearn as we drive. And then that will adjust, you know, the fuel mileage as well. I haven't had a chance to check the fuel mileage because I haven't driven it that much. I did put about 20 miles on it, just driving it during my moving permit day, where I had a free moving permit to go get the SMOG. I drove it about, give or take, 15, 20 miles just to take to reset the O2 sensors, number one, and make sure it was going to pass SMOG. But the other thing was just to make sure that it was going to drive. And boy, I'll tell you what, it is an absolute pleasure to drive. The suspension is nice and smooth. It handles terrific. It is a somewhat larger car than the Mini Cooper or the Volkswagen GTI that we worked on, but it is a nice, steady handling car. And I'll tell you what, it really, really has a lot of get up and go if you push that pedal down. We're talking nearly 300 horsepower in here. I think, to be exact, it's like 296 or 298 horsepower. Naturally aspirated, so it's not turbo. So you press that gas down, it goes. Pretty firm shift on second to third, but that's up there about 30, 20, 30 miles an hour. And then it is a 6-speed. I didn't get it up into overdrive or anything like that yet on the highway, but I think max we did was about 55 miles an hour, and she just purrs right along. Coming to a stoplight, You have no rattles, no hums, no lurching or anything like that. There's no, I will tell you, I still burn off some of that oil that, the broken oil pan flung up all that oil up underneath there. So I could tell when I came to a stoplight, there was kind of that whiff of, it almost smelled like tar. It was old oil. It wasn't fresh, you could tell. And so I think that's going to burn off as we drive it more and more. And we'll probably get it out on the highway, obviously to break it in, and then we'll change that braking oil and then put some fresh in there. And then I think we'll be ready to go. This car is going to be a daily driver. And I'll tell you what, it is... it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks so much for everybody, by the way, who's been watching along. And I'd really appreciate those thumbs up. If you can click down, like this video and all the videos in this playlist, or maybe the other video playlist that we made, the 1946 CJ2A Willis that we did together, the Volkswagen GTI that we wrapped up, and then the Mini Cooper, and then the little red Mini Cooper that we did before. If you want to watch any of those playlists, by all means, watch on them, comment, like them, and lastly, please subscribe to the channel. I think right now I have 189 subscribers, and I really, really would appreciate getting a few more of you. I do appreciate the comments. Anybody that has a question, or if you have a comment, by all means, leave it on the video. I'll do my best to get back with you as quickly as possible. I don't have as much media on my channel as several other of the channels out there. By all means, I'll get back with you in just a couple of days if you have any questions or comments. Or I'd really appreciate, a good job. I mean, it goes a long way. It really does. So thanks so much. You've watched me over the past couple months work on this car. I mean, obviously it takes me a little bit longer than many of you out there, and financial resources as well as health in consideration, but you can do it just like I can. I can do this, you can do it. It takes minimal amount of hand tools. It takes vehicle specific tools. You can go to your auto parts store, your local Napa, your AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Advance. You can pick up your coolant. You can pick up your oil, your filters, your wiper blades, your brake pads. You can get your bulbs. You can get those locally, but mechanical items, you might have to go to the dealer and stuff like that. And that's where you're going to hit something that might cost a little bit more. So take that in consideration if you're thinking about doing whatever make or model that you're thinking about doing. But by all means, Volkswagens are absolutely been a pleasure for me to work on. I now have a little bit more of the skills and knowledge for these particular cars, this manufacturer's car, because they use a lot of the same thing that like a Porsche or Audi. Obviously, they're all in that same motor group, VAG, Volkswagen Auto Group. So and Skoda, they trade and they share all those information, those parts back and forth. So a lot of things that are on this car identical across that product line on the VAG cars. So by all means, the 2.0 turbos are in the Saab. They're in the Audis. They're in the Volkswagens. The Skodas. I mean, they share those parts all along there. The VR6 now, they're in the Atlas. They're in the CCs. They're bringing those back. They're in the early GTIs. By all means, get out there and work on these. Like I said, if I can do it, you can do it. It just takes a little bit of finances and a little bit of time and some energy, and keep your health up. And if I can do it, you can do it. And I appreciate everybody that's watching out there. One last video probably that we'll do in this video series for this particular car. We'll jump back in there and we'll actually talk about our financial breakdown on what it cost. Here's what it costs to purchase, tow, get it home. Here's what it costs for all the parts. And I'll include even the incidentals like the oil and the antifreeze and the lubrication and the terry cloth towels, and then the extra add-on like we did the ceramic coat and the waxing and the polishing and the buffing. The brake pads, the brake fluid. I'll put all of that breaking down for you. So you see, it might have been a $2,600 car, but in the end, it might cost a little bit more over the course of, a few months. And, but think about this. Originally, this 10-year-old car with less than 150,000 miles cost north of $48,000. And now this car has been refreshed and cleaned up, and it's not going to cost anything but fuel and insurance. Can you imagine that? If I can do it, you can do it. You can find these cars over there. Like I said, go out there, check out AutoGator. I have no affiliation with them. I just wonderful people over there to work with. They get some great cars. By the way, hint, hint, rainy season is coming up. That's the best time to go shopping at your salvage yards, because that's when people figure out they need to check their tire pressure and their tread on their tires. Whoops, they've had an accident and their insurance just wrote off their car. Now it's at the salvage shop, and guess what? People like me are swooping in there, getting these minimally damaged cars, and we're bringing them home, we're fixing them up, we're getting them out there back on the road. We might even keep them just for ourselves. Wow. All right, folks, thanks so much, and by all means, like this video and subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon on Gunther's Place. Thanks.